47 unread emails, 6 meetings, 3 reports due today, and it's only Monday morning. Meet Alex, a project manager, a consultant, a knowledge worker. Really, this could be almost anyone. Before Alex can begin the work that actually matters, there is an inbox to sort, meetings to prepare for, notes to organize, data to analyze, and reports to finish. Now imagine something different. Before Alex even opens the laptop, AI has already organized the inbox, prepared a meeting brief, summarized yesterday's notes, and started the first draft of a report. Not an AI that simply answers questions. An AI that can actually take steps toward a goal. That's the idea behind AI agents. And in this video, you'll meet 6 practical AI agents that can take repetitive work off your plate. Here's the problem with a modern knowledge workday. Email consumes time. Meetings consume time. Preparing reports consumes time. Planning, scheduling, follow-ups, and administration consume even more. And after all of that, the time left for deep thinking, strategy, creativity, problem-solving can become surprisingly small. The point isn't that every one of these hours can simply disappear. The point is that a large part of the day is spent on repeatable coordination work. Sorting, summarizing, researching, scheduling, formatting, following up. And those are exactly the kinds of tasks where AI agents are becoming interesting. Instead of asking, how can AI help me work faster? The better question may become, which parts of this workflow should AI handle for me? To understand why agents matter, look at how our relationship with AI has evolved. Stage 1. Chatbot. You ask a question. It gives you an answer. Useful, but you decide every next step. Stage 2. Copilot. Now AI works beside you. It suggests, drafts, summarizes, analyzes, but you're still driving the workflow. Then comes Stage 3. Agent. You give the system a goal. The agent can determine what steps are needed, use available tools, inspect the result, and continue toward that goal. That's the important shift. From, answer this, to, help me accomplish this. And when the right permissions and safeguards are in place, some of that work can continue without you manually prompting every single step. The image here shows 4 capabilities that make agents useful. Perceive. The agent receives context, perhaps an email, a calendar, a document, a database, or information from another connected system. Decide. It evaluates the goal and determines what should happen next. Act. This is where agents become different from ordinary chatbots. With the right tools and permissions, they can take actions, create a draft, query data, update a workflow, organize information, or trigger another system. And finally, learn. Some agent systems can use memory, feedback, or previous interactions to improve future decisions. That last capability depends on the system. Not every agent continuously learns. But together, these 4 ideas explain the bigger picture. Observe the situation. Reason about it. Take action. Then use the result to decide what comes next. Now imagine what that means in practice. You leave work in the evening. A meeting transcript is waiting to be processed. An agent prepares a summary and extracts the action items. Another agent prepares background information for tomorrow's client meeting. Another organizes incoming messages and drafts routine responses for you to review. You come back the next morning. Instead of beginning with a blank screen, you begin with work that is already prepared. The meeting brief is waiting. The inbox is organized. The drafts are ready. The important distinction is that you should still decide which actions require human approval. An agent working while you sleep doesn't have to mean an agent doing anything it wants. The best workflows combine automation with clear boundaries. And that's where our 6 heroes come in. Meet hero number 1, the note taker. This agent focuses on one of the most common workplace problems, meetings. Instead of trying to listen, think, participate, and write everything down at the same time, the agent can work from the meeting transcript or recording. It creates a summary, identifies decisions, extracts action items, and organizes who needs to do what next. Depending on the tool and your workflow, it can also prepare follow-up notes or tasks. The important benefit isn't that meetings magically disappear. It's that the administrative work after the meeting becomes much easier. You stay focused on the conversation. The agent handles the first pass of the documentation, and you review what matters. Hero number 2 is the researcher. Imagine Alex has an important client meeting tomorrow. Normally, preparation means searching through previous conversations, company information, recent news, internal documents, and background material. The researcher can bring those pieces together. Depending on the sources it is allowed to access, it can collect relevant information and turn it into a concise briefing. Who are we meeting? What happened previously? What changed recently? What questions should we prepare for? Instead of beginning the meeting with scattered information across 10 browser tabs, Alex begins with one organized briefing. The agent hasn't replaced Alex's judgment. It has removed much of the searching and assembling that comes before the judgment. Hero number 3, the inbox manager. Your inbox mixes everything together. Something urgent, something important but not urgent, a newsletter, a meeting confirmation, a routine question, a message that requires a thoughtful response. An inbox manager can help classify that flow. It can surface the messages that need attention first, summarize long threads, extract action items, and, where supported, prepare draft responses. The key word is draft. For routine communication, an agent can prepare the work while you remain the final decision maker. So instead of opening 47 messages and asking, "Where do I even begin?" you can begin with, "These are the 3 things that actually need my attention." That is a much better inbox. Hero number 4 is the data analyst. You have spreadsheets, databases, exports, rows and rows of numbers, and somebody eventually asks, "So what does all of this actually mean?" A data analysis agent can help move from raw information to useful insight. You might ask, "Show me the sales trend by region," or "Where is customer churn increasing?" The agent can help query the data, organize it, create visualizations, and draft an explanation of what it finds. You still need to verify the data, the assumptions, and the interpretation. But the mechanical part, collecting, transforming, charting, and drafting, can become dramatically faster. That means more time for the question that actually matters. What decision should we make from this data? Hero number 5, the scheduler. A calendar can become a hidden source of chaos. One meeting here, another meeting 30 minutes later. No uninterrupted focus time, no buffer, constant context switching. A scheduling agent can analyze the calendar and help organize it more intelligently. It can suggest better meeting times, cluster meetings together, protect focus blocks, add buffers, and, when permissions allow, help coordinate changes between participants. The goal isn't simply to fit more meetings into the day. It's the opposite. The goal is to protect the parts of the day when real concentration is possible. Instead of treating the calendar like a list of interruptions, the agent helps turn it into a plan. Hero number 6, the report writer. Most reports don't begin as beautiful documents. They begin as bullet points, meeting notes, rough ideas, tables, fragments. A report writer can help transform that raw material into a structured first draft. It can organize sections, improve clarity, suggest headings, turn data into tables, and help convert rough thinking into something easier for other people to understand. But there's an important distinction. The agent can improve the presentation of an idea. It doesn't automatically make the idea itself correct. That's still your responsibility. So those are our 6 heroes: the note-taker, the researcher, the inbox manager, the data analyst, the scheduler, and the report writer. You don't need all 6. Start with the one task that steals the most time from you. Now let's return to Alex. It's Sunday night. Alex closes the laptop and goes to sleep. But several approved workflows are already prepared for Monday. The researcher collects information for the morning client call. The inbox manager organizes the messages that arrived over the weekend. Meeting material is processed, so summaries and templates are ready for review. Nothing here requires Alex to wake up at midnight and type another prompt. The workflows are already defined. Monday morning arrives. Alex opens the laptop, and instead of spending the first hour simply gathering information, much of that preparation is already waiting. This is one of the most useful ways to think about agents, not as magical digital employees, but as workflows that can keep moving when you aren't manually pushing every step forward. It's 9 a.m. Alex opens the research briefing. Client background, previous context, important talking points, ready for review. Then the inbox. Instead of treating every message as equally important, The urgent items are surfaced first. Routine responses are waiting as drafts. Then the calendar. Meetings are visible. Focus time is protected. Important preparation is attached to the right events. Notice what's really changed. Alex is still making decisions. Alex is still responsible for the work. But Alex isn't spending the first part of the day simply finding, sorting, and formatting information. The agents have reduced the friction around the work. And that means the day can begin with decisions instead of administration. Now it's 3 p.m. One of Alex's reports still needs to be completed. In the old workflow, this meant collecting the data, building charts, writing the analysis, organizing the sections, and formatting everything manually. In the agent-assisted workflow, much of that preparation can already be done. The data analyst has helped organize the numbers and build the first visualizations. The report writer has turned the rough material into a structured draft. Now Alex reviews it, checks the assumptions, corrects anything that needs correction, adds judgment and context, then approves the final version. That's the important transformation. The agent hasn't removed Alex from the process. It has shifted Alex's role from producing every mechanical step to reviewing, deciding, and improving the result. And this leads us to one of the most interesting research findings about agentic work. Look at these two numbers, 269 minutes and 36 minutes. In a 2026 study comparing matched knowledge work tasks, researchers estimated that task completion time could fall from 269 minutes to 36 minutes when the workflow shifted toward autonomous AI agent execution. That's approximately an 87% reduction for those matched tasks. But this needs one important clarification. It does not mean every 8-hour workday automatically becomes 1 hour. And it does not mean every task improves by 87%. The result depends on the task, the workflow, the quality of the agent, and how much human review is required. What it does show is the scale of the opportunity. For the right repetitive, tool-based workflows, moving from AI answering questions to AI executing steps can change the economics of the task dramatically. That's the real takeaway from this number. So how should you begin? Not by trying to automate your entire life. Start with one task. Step 1. Identify your most painful repeatable task. Think about yesterday. What consumed time but required relatively little creative judgment? Was it sorting email? Preparing meeting notes? Researching the same kind of information? Building repetitive reports? Moving information between systems? Scheduling? Formatting? Look for a task that is frequent, clearly defined, and easy to review afterward. That's usually a better starting point than the most complicated task in your job. Write down one workflow, not 6. 1. Because the fastest way to understand agents is to solve one real problem with one agent. Step 2. Match that problem to a hero and a tool. If meetings consume your time, start with the note taker. Examples shown here include Microsoft Copilot or Otter. If meeting preparation is the problem, try the researcher, for example, Perplexity or Copilot. If email is the bottleneck, look at the inbox manager with tools such as Lindy or Sanebox. For repetitive data work, the data analyst. Examples include Copilot's analysis capabilities or Julius AI. For scheduling, tools such as Reclaim or Motion. And for turning rough material into polished documents, Copilot or Gamma can help with the report writer role. The exact capabilities, integrations, and permissions vary between tools and plans. And not every tool shown here is a fully autonomous agent in every workflow. Think of them as practical starting points for building each of these 6 roles. Many can be used without writing code. Step 3. Deploy one small workflow this week. But do it safely. Start with a task where mistakes are easy to catch. And when possible, begin with read-only or draft-only access. Let the agent summarize the inbox before allowing it to send email. Let it suggest calendar changes before allowing automatic rescheduling. Let it draft a report before allowing anything to be distributed. For consequential actions, keep a human approval step. Then use the workflow for several days. Ask, did it actually save time? Were the outputs reliable? Where did I have to correct it? What additional context would improve the result? That's how useful automation grows. Not turn everything on and hope. But one task, one agent, clear permissions, human review, measure the result. Then expand only when the workflow earns your trust. Now step back and look at the bigger picture. This video completes the journey through 3 important ideas. MCP, Model Context Protocol. One way AI systems can connect with external tools and resources. RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. A way to give AI relevant knowledge at the moment it needs to answer or reason. And now, agents. Systems that can use context, make decisions, call tools, inspect results, and continue working toward a goal. These ideas don't have to appear together in every AI application. But when they do work together, the picture becomes powerful. RAG can provide grounded information. Tool connections can provide capabilities. And the agent can orchestrate the sequence of actions. That's why these 3 topics are worth understanding together. They show how AI is evolving from a system that simply generates responses into a system that can participate in complete workflows. So let's bring the 6 heroes back one final time. The note-taker handles meeting information. The researcher prepares context. The inbox manager organizes communication. The data analyst turns raw data into usable insight. The scheduler helps protect and organize your time. And the report writer turns rough material into structured communication. These aren't 6 magical products you need to buy. They're 6 roles. 6 patterns for thinking about where agentic AI can help. Look at your own day. Which of these roles matches the work you repeat again and again? That's where I would start. Remember these 5 ideas. 1. An agent goes beyond simply responding. It can work through steps toward a goal. 2. Start with repetitive tasks where the result is easy for you to review. 3. The 87% figure you've seen comes from specific matched tasks in research. It's evidence of potential, not a promise for every job or every workday. 4. The safest agent isn't the one with the most autonomy. It's the one with the right amount of autonomy for the task. And 5. Start with one useful workflow. Measure whether it actually saves time. Then build from there. Your future workday may not literally shrink from 8 hours to 3. But if agents can return even a meaningful part of the time currently lost to sorting, searching, summarizing, formatting, and coordinating, that changes what you can spend your attention on. If you found this useful, subscribe to Tech with Kaushik for more practical AI explainers. And tell me in the comments, which of these 6 AI agent roles would you deploy first? If you want to understand how agents connect to tools and knowledge, watch my MCP and RAG videos next. They're linked in the description and on screen. I'll see you in the next video.